Cheers. I am on a couple minutes early, but I got my stuff ready and wanted to get started. So I had a Banter Brewing base Pear Cider that I did a video just for that. I'm going to have some of that here in a little bit. But I want to do two other applications with you here. First, as a highball, I'm going to drink this first. What I've done here is I've got equal parts of Dog Master Bourbon. Got an ounce and a half, to be exact, ounce and a half of Dog Master Bourbon, an ounce and a half of the Pear Cider, and an ounce and a half of club soda. This makes it a highball, you see. That is nice. That right there, that's nice, man. That right there, that's a summer highball, man. That's a beautiful summer highball, man. That's gorgeous. What I thought was interesting about the Pear Cider when I had it on its own, though, is I felt like it's very light, it's very delicate, and I felt like it's a perfect base to add something to it, right? So I'm going to do a cocktail because I had an idea for a cocktail, but I wanted to start with a classic highball. It's one of those things, right? All highballs are cocktails. A cocktail is not a highball. They're kind of a different animal. There are some exceptions, as this one, but they're typically a liquor and a mixture. But here I've done a couple things with. Here I've added the liquor. The mixer is the mixer is two-part. The mixture is the club soda and the Pear Cider, with an ounce and a half of the bourbon here, which I believe is 90 proof, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 90. There we go. Let me show you that bottle again. The Dog Master Bourbon. But I got that fixed, so I wanted to get started and drink it first because I didn't want too much ice to melt in here. I didn't have all my ingredients cold, which kind of helped, but still. This is nice. Again, it is the perfect summer highball. I need to trademark that recipe. That's brilliant. Bourbon, bourbon, pear cider, a little club soda. You got something. If I had a pear, I'd do a little garnish, but I didn't. Didn't have a pear. Little pear garnish, be perfect. It is light, so I mean, if you want to change the liquor, for instance, if you want to go a different direction and use vodka or even gin, if you want different flavors, vodka would really keep it light because the vodka isn't adding much flavor to it. Other than that, I mean, like I said, if you want to do like a moonshine-like product, an unaged whiskey would be beautiful in this as well. Boy, that little bit of pear cider does make it a very nice bourbon highball. Oh, I forgot to check something here. I get it ready to check, and then I keep forgetting to check once I get started with the video. Hang on. Yeah, it did it to me again. Let me fix it here. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I know I keep having issues with this, but it's fixed now. One more time with feeling. Now that it is 7 o'clock. How do you do, Buckaroos? I'm Tom, the beer and whiskey whisperer for the purposes of this video. I'm not having any beer with you. I'm having some cider with you. So Banter Brewing does this thing called triptych. They do a base, whatever, usually a beer, and then they do two other versions of. So I'm kind of doing my own triptych here. So at the brewery, though, their triptych is the base Pear Cider. The second version is a bourbon vanilla bean, which is very good. It's my personal favorite of the three. But the third one is a strawberry rhubarb, which is very good as well. But again, what was interesting is how the pear cider takes to other flavors. It makes a perfect base for anything you want to do. So I'm kind of doing my own triptych here with the base pear cider and having it as a highball and a cocktail. I don't have the music. I should turn my music up because I don't think you can hear it. I was listening to some shandies, good happy music for the most part. They got a couple tear jerkers in there, ain't gonna lie, but most of the stuff's a upbeat. Great songwriters, these two. This particular tune is very upbeat, called Day Trip Tuesday. They do have a couple tunes in there that'll definitely make you tear up, though. they were gracious enough to do a at the pub podcast show with me last Monday. Unfortunately for me, I mean, I wasn't having a good day Monday. Monday, I was in a lot of pain, so I was trying to just get through the day. So I didn't do the show as well. I don't mean to pat myself on the back, but typically, it doesn't feel like an interview show. It feels more like a conversation. But I was really struggling that day because the usually the questions just come to me automatically. I don't really schedule anything because I want it to seem like a conversation. But I was struggling Monday, and I wasn't doing as well as I wanted to because these two are just awesome. And I thought of the perfect questions to ask and the things I wanted to say after we were done. Anyway, I digress. We're almost finished here. We'll get on to the second application. It's Tuesday. Set this down. All right, the second application here, and I apologize for getting up in your face there. The second application we got for you is, let's see if I can do this without spilling. No, I can't, apparently. Try not to spill and spill all over the place. Anyway, let's take a look at that. I wish I could take a picture of that, but I'm using all my devices here. So what I've got in this cocktail, which I haven't quite got a name for yet. Let's see if I can set that down for a second and get myself together here. Gonna get my leg up. Get my leg up. There we go. Okay. Anyways, I apologize. I apologize for the frivolity. Anyway. So what we got here is failure to communicate. Oh no, this is a song that makes me cry. Remember, this song makes me cry. So what I've got here instead of, well, I can't reach it now. The liquor I've got in this one, I want to go a different direction. So I was thinking White Manhattan, right? So I've got a Sugarland Shine. This is their Silver Cloud Tennessee Sour Mash. So it's basically an unaged whiskey here at 100 proof. Let me show you that. I've been keeping it chilled, as you can see. So what I've got in here, well, I can't seem to get where I want to go here. Let me just set it here for the time being. What I've got in here is an ounce and a half of the whiskey and an ounce and a half of the pear cider and some cherry bitters. I kept it very simple. I decided I thought about, I do have some dry vermouth. I thought about adding that to complete the the dry Manhattan kind of feel. But I felt like that's what the pear cider was doing. So then I decided just to kind of leave it as is. So I haven't tasted it yet, so here we go. Wasn't necessarily meant to be a White Manhattan, just kind of, inspired by. Oh, that's delicious. So the whiskey is very good, an aged whiskey. So again, it is vodka, so it's not meant to be tasteless, right? So you do have some flavors, and it is a little chewy. But it does react well to, again, that pear cider kind of takes on whatever you put in it. I added a little bit of cherry bitters, which added some flavor as well. So it's very interesting. Trying to get the rest of that in the glass without spilling it. Anyways, I did okay that time. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, I just had a notion, right? I had a thought, I had an idea. So this is my own personal triptych with the Pear Cider. Was doing it as a highball and a cocktail. I'm going to have it as just the plain Pear Cider here at the end, but I wanted to have these first. Oh, monkey puss, man, that was good. I do like this whiskey product though. It is good. That sour mash, man, it is tasty. And then again, at 100 proof, it does lend itself well to a cocktail, right? Yeah, it does. It is perfect for a cocktail or a highball, if you will. But again, the inspiration, I wasn't necessarily trying to recreate a dry or a white Manhattan. It was just to, yeah, I was inspired by that. Because I do have some dry vermouth I thought about putting in here, and I said, no, that's kind of what the pear cider is doing. You know, I've got equal parts of the whiskey to the pear cider. I think that works as is. The garnish, well, again, I'm kind of working with what I had. Yeah, yeah. I got a dark cherry in there. I got a little bit of a lemon peel, mostly just to add some aromatics. If I had a pear, you know, if I when I had a pear, I put a little slice, a little thin slice of pear in there, but I didn't have a pear handy. Just working with what I've got. I'm a firm believer in improvisation. Work with what you got. Anybody watching, if you ever have any questions or comments, please put it up on the screen. I'll answer anything. If you want to be part of the video, let me know, and I'll send you the link via Messenger. Let's do the shandies in the background if you can hear it. Yeah, most of the tunes. Most of the tunes are a little upbeat, but this one's a crier. Yeah, this is a tearjerker here. Again, I was very flattered that they were able to do a at the pub episode with me because, well, I mean, you know, hey, I'm just getting started, right? And there are guys with much more clout in the podcast business. Even here in Springfield, there are several folks doing great podcasts. Probably my favorite would be the Uli Who podcast. Uli Who is just a great guy. Podcast. He's very well known in this area, so you know he certainly gets the talent. I'm kind of, you know, I'm trying. Uh, like that old saying, we're number two. We're number two, but we try harder. Yeah, I'm trying, man. And now that I can't get out and about and I can't work for a little bit, yeah, I've been trying to do some other things. I've been trying to do some, you know, social media, trying to promote some certain things, and uh, it's just I wean myself off of the opioids. I can, you know, I can drink a little bit. So I've been trying to, you know, again, you know, get some. So I quit trying to line up guests for my at the pub show because, you know, I knew I was going in for surgery, so I didn't want to line up anything that I. But once I got out of surgery and, you know, got home, I started trying to line up a few things. So I'm hoping to have something next week. It's not that's in stone yet, so I don't want to mention it. But I'm hoping I've got something good for you next week. Before I started working at Banter, I was doing them every Thursday night, and then I was working Banter on Thursday, so I've had to kind of adjust when I do these. But now that I'm out of work, so well, I'm off work, not out of work, but let's say that I'm off work for a little bit. I am my schedule is a little more flexible, so like I said, I did this show on Monday with them, but I did another show on Thursday with beer and whiskey writer Lou Bryson, and that was a lot of fun too. But yeah, because my schedule is a little bit, yeah, more flexible, I'm willing to work with the artists I get it because a lot of these guys are, you know, they're booked out, you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in a lot of cases. So if Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday works better for them, hell, I'll do a show Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday just to be able to get certain folks on the show. 'Cause we've got a lot of great talent here in this neck of the woods. You really do. Oh, Might have to go get me another jug of this Pear Cider though, because I feel like the more I drink this, the more I drink this, the more I have other ideas, right? I have ideas for other cocktails and other highballs. I think this is brilliant, man. If I do say this, I'm a genius. I'm kind of an alcohol savant. I've got a thin area of expertise, but I'm good at it. I do have a pretty good percentage of guessing what non-craft beer drinkers will like when they come into Banter, though. I was very good at it because someone will come in and say, well, I usually drink this, or this. And I say, okay, try this. Oh, you're right. So I'm pretty good that way. Well, I usually only drink this. Okay, let's try this one then. I love that the folks, the owners at Banter encourage me to talk to folks, right? They encourage me just to be me. So I can go full beer whisperer. Go full beer whisperer, baby. Oh, mercy. Okay, we finished that up. Now I'm going to pour just the base Pear Cider and have that with you. Last Chance Highways is on play now, so you can hear it. I have a hard time knowing what this is going to pick up or not. I think I can get the rest of it. Oh. I could get the rest of it in there, but that was close. Yeah. Base Pear Cider. Well, this is just a growler, so it's not, all you're going to see is the name of the brewery. But anyways, I digress. I am Tom, the beer and whiskey whisperer, for the purposes of this video, anyway. Tuck that down in there, anyways. I digress. But I digress. This is nice. It's nice and light. I believe it's at 5.5%. I didn't mention that earlier. To be honest, it even feels lighter than that, to tell you the truth. It feels very light. Almost feels like, like a Berliner Weiss. They keep syrups. You do the base Berliner Weiss, and then they put syrups in it, to flavor it up. I feel like you could do the same thing to this, because, again, I feel like it's very light, it's very delicate, it's very malleable. So whatever flavor you put in this, it's really going to absorb that flavor. So, yeah, if you feel like strawberry syrup, you put just touch in there, and you got a strawberry Pear Cider just like that. Ugh. I wasn't feeling it initially, to be honest with you, but I am feeling it kind of now. Is that you just have this slightly, because I was telling my wife likes sweeter wines than drier wines. But I wanted her to try this because I thought it was interesting, because it didn't feel sweet, but it didn't necessarily feel dry either. But now that I'm able to concentrate on just this, yeah, I do feel that little bit of tartness in the finish there. Which is why I really picked up the strawberry rhubarb version. Yeah, you really feel that strawberry right away. A little bit of tart rhubarb in the finish. And I feel like, some of that may be the pear, but because, the strawberry rhubarb is in there, you kind of feel like it's the rhubarb doing that. Oh, mercy, Percy. Anyways, I digress. But I digress. So we got the base covered now. We had a highball. We had a cocktail. We did three versions. We did our own personal triptych of the base pear cider from Banter Brewing. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, Tom the Whiskey Whisperer. Uh, we'll skip to the end and just say all around good guy and Slancha. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. So pairings, right? What would I pair this with? Well, the truth is, I would if it'd have to be light, right? I think would go fine with it, like a caprese salad, for instance. The fresh mozzarella would be perfect. I wouldn't pair with anything hearty by any means. With a meal, it's going to be tough. Yeah, if you're doing a chicken breast, I think it would pair nicely with. And then again, it would depend on if you're going to add a sauce or not. I think it would pair nice with a charcuterie plate. It would pair nicely with a fruit and cheese plate if you're using lighter cheeses. I wouldn't use any very strong cheeses with this because again, it's very light, very delicate. Cheese biscuits, that's good. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you later.